NERDSoul.
Lay ill kid at OneYoungsta, hold it down, bring that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Let's go. We on fire with evil, man. Come on, come on. It's good, man. Shh, look, all right. We're not by ourselves. Calm it down just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Hold your applause just for a moment. He's about to get on stage. I give to you the cinematic sorcerer. So our great. What's up?
Yo, don't calm it down. Keep the applause going. I live for that. But before we get started, I really only have one thing to say.
All right, what's up?
Hello, Michael.
Okay.
Take my hand.
Oh man, okay. You know what? Give me some initial thoughts from this episode when the episode ended. Like when the episode ended, how were you feeling?
Why is this show almost over? That was my initial thought. My initial thought after watching this episode going, no, you can't, no. All right, the next show that y'all do better start off like this. That's where I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Man, for me, I was like, how are they getting so much done in one episode? Like they're really getting a lot done. They're getting a lot done. Kudos, man. Look, they know their jobs. They know the assignment. They are turning in A+. They
yeah,
know.
We gotta check them to see if their parents are doing the work at this point, because you didn't write this paper.
So we're gonna jump around. This is a good episode. It's episode 10, How to Survive a Storm. And look, I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna jump kind of to the end for a second. Okay. I'm just gonna go on and say this. I'm trying to think of how to form my lips to. Okay, for Kristen to say, let me think. All right, for Kristen to state out loud that she wishes she had two lives so that she could live them both for David when her husband is in a treatment facility at this moment is wild. It's wild. Like, for her to, bruh, look, Andy ain't did nothing wrong to nobody. Andy is laid up. Andy essentially sacrificed himself to save his daughter, their daughter. And she wishes that she had two lives to give to another man. Oh my God. As a married man, that's wild. And then David's single. So I mean, still look, man, bruh, for David to say that he wishes he had two lives, one to give to God and one to give to her. I'm like, she married, right? Like you know. Now, if he don't know, Kristen definitely knows she's married.
No, he knows.
Like,
remember, he's met Andy. He likes Andy.
I know. Are you kidding me? Do you know how wild that is? Even if it's in your mind, you do not say it. For the power of life and death is in the tongue. You don't say that. And yes, I'm going to say, this is a religious show, guys. Stop it. So, like, I can't, when she said that, I was like, your husband is this. Yo, honestly, Kristen ain't nothing, man. I ain't going front. Like, I'll be trying to hold her down, but look, Kristen, oh boy, Kristen ain't nothing. Oh man.
What I've got to say about that particular thing?
Yes, please, help me.
Thank God for Ben.
Yeah, Ben was like, what about me?
And she's like, 3 lives. He's like, all right, that's cool. Like, as long as you messing up right now, like, don't leave me out of the honey cake.
I just cannot believe she said that out of her mouth.
Well,
out of her face, she said that.
See,
With her daughters in there. You don't know if they're sleep. And you know what I mean by sleep. Anyone who's tried to sneak around, you know what I mean by sleep.
Yeah, you know, she didn't know if they were as awake as Ben.
Thank you.
You know, but honestly, though, I'm gonna give a little grace on this one.
Oh, here we go.
For one reason.
Okay.
It was stated flat out that Kristen is the perfect woman to raise the Antichrist. Like, it made very clear she's not good. She is not a good person.
True. Okay.
And
all right.
I'm not gonna be all mad at a bad person, you know, someone who was possessed by a demon, who has taken human life with her own hand, who gave haunting stock tips to someone because she didn't like him. I'm not going to hold her to the standard of being good. She's not. She's modestly hot. That's about it.
Wow.
You know, I'm serious. She's modestly hot and she's the main character. So, yeah, it's like, you know, what do you expect from a pig but a grunt? I mean, when has she done right by Andy at all in this show?
That's true. That's true.
Name once.
You're right.
So I gotta give grace to consistency in character.
It's true. Yeah.
You know.
You're right. You're right. She's been bad the whole time.
Day one. Again, she got an exorcism secondhand because she was getting drinks.
So yeah, you're right. It's just so bad, man. So okay, there's a couple of things in here that go on in this episode, and we're kind of like surrounded by this storm. Hurricanes coming in, people are waiting for landfall. There's flood warnings, all kinds of stuff. Sheryl and Leland are still going through their mess because remember, Sheryl had to bounce. And as this storm is going on, I just want to check in on Sheryl. I want to talk about Sheryl for just a moment and her role in this, because her role, it's a big role. We get our kind of, you know, huge moment with Sheryl at the end of this. And Sheryl being undercover is hilarious. The undercover mode.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Like, but it's okay. Sheryl has come to the point where she knows it's probably over for her. She's looking over her shoulder, and I will give her this. She didn't flee town. She didn't cut and run. She made sure to go to her daughter, alert her daughter, and provide protection to her daughter and her grandchildren. I will at least put that in the W column for Sheryl.
You know what?
What's up?
This episode redeemed Sheryl in my eyes. I'm dead serious. This episode, I'm like, you know what? We're okay. We're really okay. I know it seems weird, but let me cook. All right.
All right. No. You know, let's roll.
She starts off by undercover mom. Look, just take these tasers. I will speak a little further. And this is an expansion of undercover mom in the confession booth. I'll see you at 9. And trying to pull a Batman, you know? But as soon as she decided that she wanted to take Leland down, she did anything and everything in her power to do so, regardless of the cost to her.
True.
You know, and real talk, if she had shown that much commitment to her family or to doing the right thing from the beginning, then we wouldn't have a problem with her, would we?
Not at all.
You know? But she came around as soon as Leland was like, "What you think this was? You really thought that we weren't gonna be going after your kids or your grandkids? Your granddaughter is John the Baptist for the Antichrist. Of course we gonna keep an eye on her." You know? And you know, and as soon as she came to her senses, realizing that she was the baddie, she didn't do a full 180 that people expect, going, "I'm the bad guy, now I shall be good." No, she was like, "You know what? I'm the baddie, and I'll probably never make up for that. But
I can make sure to burn Leland to the ground
and protect the girls in the same point." And that's kind of my point.
And burn she did. I mean, okay, she goes, tanks the stock for DF, which is awesome. She spikes his punch where he almost dies. I mean, she almost had him.
Honestly, it was infernal intervention that saved him. You know, and I got to give it up to the demon on that one. You know, straight up going, "You know, I can't always be bailing you out on this, right?"
Yeah, he's like, I'm always fixing your problems. So that, and the way she spiked the punch, the way she's been on him, you know, baptizing Timothy, everything. She has really brought the fire. She has earned her sort of like her redemption death.
It is a good redemption arc, you know.
Now, with that,
you know,
it's a slightly different redemption arc because she didn't really turn from her wickedness. She kind of just pointed at Leland. But hey, we'll take it because we need help on the team because the team needs help right now.
Mm-hmm.
But even with her and Boggs comes in. I'm thinking, yo, hold on, what? They hit us with they try to hit us with a swerve for a second because I was like, what? But even Boggs is like trying to, rationalize. She's like, nah, bro, they demons.
Now, I want to bring that up because one thing that this show gave me that I didn't know I needed, but they're not giving me enough because they're doing it at the end, is Boggs and Ben.
Yeah.
Because they're literally the same sides of, or they're two examples of the coin. Like Boggs is even more so of what Kristen started off as.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no, I am pretty skeptical and all that stuff. Except as soon as Boggs started seeing some stuff, he was like, well, I'm going to keep trying to deny this, although I won't be able to hear Gelouetta anymore. But, and then when everything came down to it in Cheryl's office, he was like, all right. All right, you know what? Yeah.
When the dude took his skin off, it's like he was still trying to figure out like a psychosomatic way or something to, you know, say it some floofy doofy doctor psychologist way. Cheryl was like, nah, bro, they just demons. You're like, nah, it just sometimes it is what it is. It is a demon.
Yeah, and then
peel his skin off. I saw it, you saw it.
And then when they're sitting up drinking in his office, and I'm like, you know what? I didn't know I needed this. I really did not know that I needed this, but
I needed it too because it was about time. Because I'm like, we're in season 4. Come on, y'all. And
you know, because when Boggs and Sheryl are sitting in his office after the attack and just sitting up there drinking, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I didn't think that she would be the one to bring him around. Going, no, look, there are actual demons.
No, this is just demon.
This just straight
he's
up
not
demon.
A speed demon. He's a demon.
Yeah, like this ain't a hallucination. This is my life. Yeah. And he's like, I guess this is your life. I guess it is.
Like, bruh, you saw a demon use you, but you know what? I'm gonna sit that down. We can hit some stuff in final thoughts, but I do want to take a break on this point. People, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy that's like all in your physical business or whatever. But the scene with Boggs is exactly why we got to be we all have to work to be as fit as we can, guys. You never know. You never know. You never know when you're gonna have to move quick. You're gonna have to shake and bake, hit him with a little razzle dazzle, maybe a spin to the door. You never know. All right. And Boggs, he out there, he living that psychiatrist life. He ain't hitting the gym like he got to. You know what I'm saying, guys? Get out there and walk. Get out there and walk, maybe hit the treadmill a little bit, maybe do some squats and push-ups at the house, because you never know. You never know when you're gonna have to move quick. All right, and Boggs was looking bad trying to get up there. It won't looking good. And he almost got caught. He almost got caught up. All right, so just do a fitness check on y'all. We all gotta just try to work a little bit just in case we gotta move. Never know. All right,
right.
Need a little fitness checkup, because Boggs, I was like, oh snap. I was like, is he gonna make it? And then I was like, oh, okay. I was like, whoo, I was close. But with the acknowledgments, I want to give a kudos to the team. The team of David, Kristen, Ben. I want to give a kudos to them. Today, or in this episode, he was possessed by Leland, or mentally moving, or whatever,
he was
using
possessed.
him, or whatever they wanted, I forgot how he termed it, how the high evolutionary termed it. But they didn't trip. They didn't try to make up some words for it. They didn't try to they just got to work. And Ben was like, all right, let's figure out some AOLs. Let's try to figure out something that'll work against them. Kristen was like, all right, let's go through. They did not give us no stupid kind of made up stuff. It's like, no, okay, this stuff is weird. It's happening and it's not natural. It's supernatural in some way, shape, or form. We're not going to open the dictionary on this. It's just happening, okay? It's just real.
Well, see, it's interesting because the team slightly believes in the supernatural, but they believe in Leland.
Okay.
And
I see where you're going on that.
Yeah, that's a real big point on that they're showing. It's like, I don't really believe in the ghosting and the goblins and all that stuff, but I believe that David can see stuff, and I believe that Leland can do stuff too. So yeah, let's really take a look at that.
And that whole piece of what Kristen had with the information about high school, that came in handy.
That was
and
so
then
clutch.
Ben came through like gangbusters. Man, look, this is the team we should have had for years. Okay, this is the team we should have had.
I can't say that.
This is the melding of the minds that I like. They came together. They didn't argue about whether it was real or not. They just said, look, we're going to take it at face value, and we just going to go at it.
Yeah, see, that's that. I can't get along with that, because what you're talking about right now is competence porn. And
you're talking about the show ending 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, pretty much, because when you got a show like this, okay, which is essentially a police procedural.
Yeah,
if they're really good at what they do, you get 90% of the police procedural shows, which are popular because they're saturated, not because they're good.
And see, I think there's a way to write characters in a smart way and still have bad guys be good or be slippery or get away.
I believe you. It's just not every show can be Hannibal, bruh. We would love it if they could, but this is also a thing that companies do for money. And if they take the time to make good, they're not putting out as much. As much as I would love if this was the whole team from the beginning, then we would have 100 coins, or we would have 30 coins. you know. And what's 30 coins, you might ask? Exactly. 30 coins is a supernatural thriller, also with Paul Giamatti. The first season is in Spanish and subtitled, and nobody hears about it because nobody's watching it. You know? And that's the whole thing. You can't market absolute competence all the time. At least you can't market realistic competence all the time.
Cool.
You feel me?
I feel you. But the way they came together, I was proud of them. I was proud of them. And,
they nailed it.
Was
I'm like,
I can't take it.
you know.
All right.
So, I will say on that same front though, I'm a little done with the High Evolutionary.
You know what? Let's get on the high because okay. All right. Let's talk about the High Evolutionary and then I guess slightly go into the whole Leland of it all. Okay. This man decides to tell us that Leland is essentially Vader at the last moment.
I didn't think about that, but yeah.
At the last moment, this dude, you knew we was dealing with Leland. Why didn't you ever bring me in? And even if you said, look, Leland knows more than you think. He is not just evil. He knows our ways or something. He hasn't said nothing about Leland.
Yeah.
Even when David is like, hey, I can see Leland's place. And he's like, okay, don't do anything else. It would be nice to get a little more information and just don't do anything else. Now, on the flip side,
hold on, I want to comment on that.
Okay, go ahead.
I am so glad we are on the same page. All right, because seriously, this whole "do as I say and don't ask questions" things, my mama couldn't get me to do that. All right. This whole thing of, we're dealing with the supernatural. We're supposed to be on the same team. You know what I do for a living. You know what I'm up against all the time. And you have the information that will help us both with what we're doing.
Yeah.
And you're withholding it. Why? I mean, what did he say? Don't jump into Leland. Just watch.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Just trust me on this. And in media, life, and everything else, when the source is trust me, I'm done. I am super done.
It's okay. There's all right. There's another thing about this part that I kind of will touch a little bit. Okay, so David is told not to jump into this person. And David's like, but yo, I know this man. This man has kind of vowed to kill Kristen and her daughters. You know what I'm saying? He even goes to
Andrea.
Ignatius, Father Ignatius, and is like, yeah, he goes to Andrea too. And he's like, what can I do? What should I do? And Ignatius is like, look, I'm gonna keep it real. If I knew that whatchamacallit was gonna get killed, I would be there to stop that. I don't care. And the only thing is, he didn't have the information that the High Evolutionary Ben had.
Exactly.
Like Ben had that information from jump. Told us nothing, man. Nothing.
All he had to be was like, oh, Leland. And all right, I am compelled to tell you not to jump into Leland. So since I'm compelled to tell you that, let me tell you why. Okay, let me tell you, since it is now super confirmed that we are dealing with Leland in a way that makes me tell you what not to do. Let me give you some background. That's exposition time, bruh.
Yeah.
Because, if you jump into him, he's better at it than you. And he will take you over. So don't do that.
And he was my, Padawan, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, dude, this is a huge thing. to drop on us at this juncture. I mean, at any point, like this is when the entity, or when the Friends of the Capitol or the Vatican or whatever, when they found out it was Leland, they should have sent over more than just Father Dominic. They should have sent over like 2 or 3 dudes and been like, all right, guys, we got to sit you down.
Yeah.
We just thought you were
Like,
dealing
where's
with
the
a couple
Jedi
of
Council on this? Why are we getting half-baked Obi-Wan over here?
Like, I'm thinking he ain't got no idea. All this, bruh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about done with him.
I think I am done with my Father Dominic hate rant. I am now. I can, to a certain degree, understand why he kept it a secret. He probably feels great shame because the guy he trained turned out being Vader. Don't nobody want to be the trainer for that, but you still got to say something, man. All right,
Okay.
It's too late. You got to say something now. I don't care how much shame it is. We got to know.
So, you know how I gave Kristen grace because she's never been good?
True.
All right. On this front, I'm gonna be like, you know what, Father Dominic? You can go kick rocks. All right, you can eat an entire bowl of spring sausage because you're talking about preventing evil from coming to New York. You knew Leland was here. You knew what he was. So you're not telling the priest that has been going toe to toe with Leland for the past 2 years.
Like, come on, man.
Years. You know, so it's like, oh, well, this dude that we have thoughts about, that, you know, Vader has been out there and you have been going toe to toe with Vader. We're not going to tell you anything about Vader, but we still just want you to do what we say.
Like,
come.
Don't get me wrong. There
on.
is a time and a place for do what I say, because I don't have to explain. But Father Dominic has been around the team long enough to have about 5 to 10 minutes to break this down.
That's
It's not
exactly
like-
my point.
It's not like he hit the ground running and something was crazy and everything, and he just do it. That's not the situation here.
Nope.
Like, so I don't get me wrong. As a parent, I understand. There are times when it's just do what I say. I don't have time to explain it because I have to conceptualize it for a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old. I get it. But these are all adults that are working together against Leland and his team.
Yeah.
Like a coach. Okay, so a coach, let's say Father Dominic is the coach, basically. A coach might not tell his team everything, but he doesn't keep pertinent information like this away from the team. Like, I don't think a coach would keep the fact that the coach that they're playing against next week played under him, or, you know what I'm saying, like, he knows the kind of players I like to pick and stuff like that. I don't think he would keep that from them. At least I'd hope he would.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
no, I
saying?
mean that's a huge bit of thing. Like, I've never been a do as I say, not as I do, or shut up and just do it person. But I do recognize that there is a time and a place. The time and the place tends to be, I need you to act now. There's no time to explain.
Yeah, high stress times or something like that.
Yeah, urgency.
Yeah.
Urgency is the key to that. But if it's urgent, okay. However, much like now is not the time to cry, when we are done with this, there is going to be a sit down.
Yeah, because I could even understand episode maybe around the end of season 3 or something like that, where he was like, just do it, just do this. And then at the end of the episode being like, all right, guys, I know I told y'all to just go. Here's why. Leland is not what you think. And boom, maybe end the episode like that and then open the next one with him laying it out. But I mean, not just leave them in the full dark, man.
Yeah, exactly. You nailed it right there.
Like,
So, like I said, I'm about
on.
done with Father Dominic.
Now,
Yeah.
all right, so on the Leland side, Leland, you're gonna have to put a bullet in him. because he ain't gonna stop. Now he done moved in next door. He's lured your daughters over there. Like, bruh, like you had to put a bullet in him. Now, of course, we dealt with him. We'll get into the the whole Sheryl part later. But Leland is. I think Leland's feeling himself because now he's running DF.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that because now he's got the power to be exactly what he's always wanted to be.
Yeah, when we found out he was the neighbor, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I was going, all right, this is very well done. Like I didn't see it coming. I saw the demon in the shower.
Yeah, I saw the demon in the shower, and he set it up as a scared neighbor. But I will say this is one part I did not like about the episode. I felt like Lexus being separate was lazy writing in the way they did it. Lexus is not. It's not like it's not like she got a lot of size. All right, she could have fit in there.
In truth, I didn't think it was lazy writing. I think it was a continuation from the last place we saw. Because remember, the last time we saw Lexus before this episode, she had just been by a bunch of ghosts, and we know what position she's in. So, if you noticed in this episode, Lexus was separate at almost every important moment. You know
what? Because Leland has been making sure to isolate her.
Mm-hmm.
And people, I'm a stop on this. People, if you're listening, I don't know. Look, I don't know what you believe, so I ain't gonna try. But I'm gonna say whatever the enemy is for you, the enemy will try to isolate you. Always will.
Yep.
The enemy will try to isolate you and make you feel like you ain't got no friends, you ain't got no family, you ain't got no support. Do not believe that. Tell the enemy to get behind you because that is not the truth. The truth is not in him. But that's a whole other thing. I ain't gonna go. Look, I ain't gonna go too far. But I'm just letting y'all know. Look,
or challenge that emissary to say it in public, or not, or around other people. This is, and y'all know I'm not a believer, but I would tell you this. For those of y'all out there like me that don't exactly get down with the whole church thing, y'all all got that relative that waits until everybody is gone to talk to you about some BS. You could be at the cookout or something. Everybody's like having a day or they're having a time or something. And that cousin's like, let me talk to you for a minute, bro. So what we gonna do about grandma's property? Why we ain't talking about this with grandma? Well, I'm trying not to stress her out about this, bro. And by the way, could I get a couple of dollars here and there? Like, nah, man. Nah. You got to pull me aside or isolate me for all this stuff. Then I know you ain't on the level.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. There are times to pull someone aside, but when someone pulls you aside to talk about something concerning someone and it seems negative, you get the feeling, you know it in your gut, it.
And there is a difference between the victim and the propagator. All right. Yeah. And real talk, like that's but Leland has been isolating her for ever.
Since like season 2, basically. Because the funny thing is, when I watched it back from the beginning before the season started, I remember thinking season 2 was just all over the place and crazy and it made no sense. I was like, why did we just, but now that I watch it again, I'm like, oh, season 2 is Leland running everybody around on a goose chase so that he can get close to Lexus. I was like, that's what season 2 is about. I was like, oh, okay. Because the first time I was just like, why are we doing all this random stuff? But yeah, Leland, he still has his eyes on Lexus for real. And it shows in the bathroom scene.
Yeah.
It shows a lot in the bathroom scene. When I saw the bathroom scene, I was thinking about what you've been saying about Lynn and Lexus, because, and I guess I'll talk about Well, you know what? I'll go sort of in order on this one. So we have our dear sister Andrea. She's outside in the backyard at
at,
what is it?
at
Kristen's
Kirsten's
house.
Yeah, at Christian's.
And the funny thing is we see the man with the suit or whatever that the astrologer
The gray
was
man.
talking about.
Yeah, the gray man.
So we see him. Sister Andrea, she's in the back. And the beautiful thing is she's in the middle of the storm. And remember, just like, hey, look, this is evil. Jesus was in the middle of that storm. Remember, Peter and everybody was like, oh, it's crazy, it's crazy. Jesus was not tripping. Jesus just said, peace, be still. And that was it. And so she's in the storm. Do you see her tripping? No. She's like, we ain't scared of you. They're even attacking her. She like, so did she break her stride? No, she stood tall. You are able to stand tall in the face of wickedness. She said this storm will end. Even when he tried to come to, because the enemy will come and try to tell you lies about yourself. He was like, he says, you're old. I'm trying to remember what else he said. He says she's old and she has no powers.
You're weak. Yeah.
Yeah. You're old and you're weak. But if she's so old, he says, you mean nothing. And we own the storms. If that is true, then why are you spending so much time on her?
You know what?
Why are you spending so much time? If she is weak, if she is just an old woman, if she is insignificant, then why are you here spending your time on me?
See, this is straight up the point that I try and make to the young bloods out there. Because they're sitting up like, oh man, no, I ain't about that voting. It don't do nothing. I'm like, bro, if voting does not mean anything, then why are there so many people trying hard to make sure you can't?
Yeah, I'll give into the argument that the higher you go, the less power you really have. But yeah, I'd say locally, your city councils,
exactly,
your school boards. You know, when they decide what zoning is going to be for what area, what they're going to do with the parks, what they're going to do with the parking areas and stuff like that. Those are the most important. And I know that seems mundane and boring, but that's more important, in my opinion, than presidential elections, because like they said, and it still rings true, in my opinion, all politics is local.
I won't say it's more important, but I will say it's more immediate. And more direct. Yeah. Like this will affect you in 2 years versus 20.
Yeah. Some of that stuff will affect you tomorrow.
Exactly. You know? So yeah, but anybody that tries to take away your power, or anyone that's trying to convince you that you have no power, is spending time trying to take it away. And I'm like, bro, exactly like you said, if I wasn't that important, then why you here wasting your time?
Yeah. Now let's step a little bit deeper. Let's go deeper for y'all, because I'm gonna try to help some people, set some people free. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm not a preacher. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna try to set some of y'all free. Another thing. So we go into the bathroom, and everybody's huddled in there because there's no windows. Everybody's trying to stay safe, and that's cool. Sister Andrea says, like, hey, I'm gonna pray. And oh boy. All right. So I usually try to not dog out David, even though David be tripping. But Sister Andrea says, let's pray for the sealing the stage, so us to be cool. And David looks at Kristen and Ben and he says, silently, sister. I'll say this. Okay, there's two parts to this. One, if you're a believer, do not crumble under social pressure and hide your light to make society happy. With that said, do not be haughty in your belief. You don't have to shove it in people's faces, but you don't have to hide who you are. And I feel like David is trying to hide who he is to make them happy, because even after Sister Andrea starts praying, he don't even join in. Lynn joins in. Lynn joins in, and then her sisters follow suit. Sans Lexus. And I was just like, David, this reminds me of a young man by the name of Peter. All right, and see, Jesus. Okay, so Judas already snitched on him, right? So the chief priest and everybody are grilling Jesus upstairs in their, like, I don't know, priest house or whatever. And downstairs, Peter is in the courtyard. A servant girl of the chief priest comes to him and says, "Aren't you the guy that hangs with Jesus?" And he was like, "Nah, not me. I don't know who Jesus is." Now, I'm setting this up. Sorry.
I'm like, wait, are you talking Peter or Thomas?
No, Peter. This is when Jesus tells Peter that you will deny me 3 times before the rooster crows twice.
Yeah, I thought he said that to Thomas because Peter was the rock upon which he built his church.
Yes, but Peter still he had some.
Oh, see, I thought Simon became Peter.
Yeah,
and Thomas did something else.
But see, that's also why Peter is a great example of just because you stumble, even though you might be stumbling, does not mean that your future is set. That your future, you can still be. But yes, so Peter's like, "Nah, dog, I got your back. You'll never have to worry about me." And Jesus is like, "Don't speak so soon."
Because as soon as the cop rode up, he was like, "I don't know him."
Yeah, so him and Paul trailed behind Jesus at a distance. Now, they don't really say what the distance is, but they trail behind, of course, because, they came with swords and clubs. So anyway, she asked him, "Don't you know who Jesus is?" He's like, no. She said, no, Jesus of Galilee. You that dude, you be hanging with him, right? And he's like, no.
You hand me a sandwich at the Sermon on the Mount?
And the crowd comes around and he denies him 3 times. And at the 3rd time, the rooster crows, he remembers, and he just cries. He just starts crying. It's that pressure. Now, I understand Kristen, or you might have friends or whatever, they might not believe. I ain't saying that you got to be up in their face all the time. But if there's a moment where the Spirit is moving you to pray, you got to pray. You just got to pray. Now, I'm not saying that you got to be like, everybody come up in here and pray. No. Spirit told you to pray. You pray. Don't worry about nothing else. You pray. And I don't know. I feel like David is the example of like holding under social pressure because he don't want Kristen to feel a certain way. But I'm like, bro, no. It's time for you to pray. Sister Andrea, right? Like, why? And then he ain't even join in later. I don't know. But maybe I'm tripping. But
I'm going to put this up to you, tripping just a little bit. Only because when Andrea has 3 things that she does on screen, and you know this. 3 things. Right. That is all.
Okay.
That is kill demons with garden tools, pray, or clean something.
Okay, cool.
So if Andrea says, "Yeah, it's time to pray," it's like, really? You don't say. You are saying that it's time to pray.
Okay, understood. But I mean, I don't know. I think we are at the point where, especially with David, if Sister Andrea says something, just do it, because she's most likely right. Like, she knows her stuff. But this is an awesome moment with Lynn.
Oh, bro, Lynn came in clutch on this one, and she substantiated my theory. Yeah, she is substantiating my theory. She is going to be the Anna to Lexi's Ilsa. Straight up.
And one thing, shout out to Lynn, speaking to Sister Andrea, getting down and starting the prayer. Shout out to Kristen for not bothering it, not interrupting it. Kristen let it ride, because we know Kristen is hardcore about she didn't trip. Now later on she did say no atheists in the foxhole, but she didn't. She didn't stop him. She could have. Now, interestingly, we see Lexus and the way she looks over at her mom, and then the way she kind of looks down at her sisters. okay, what's the vibe you got of the look that she gave?
I don't know the word for it, but the feeling was this again.
Yeah, because she kind of cut her eyes when she looked back at her sisters, like, please. Like, kind of like that kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
like those eyes were rolling like wheels. like marbles down a badly built floor.
Man, the way she cut her eyes, I was like, wow. I immediately thought about what you were saying, like, shoot, 5-6 episodes ago or whatever. Like, you've been saying this for a while. I just immediately thought, I was like, oh, here we go. I was like, yeah, this is it. I was like, yeah, this is not the beginnings, but the more visual beginnings of this, like the stark contrast between these two. And we also see the separation because she's the only one standing by herself. She looks to her mom. Her mom doesn't really say anything. Then she looks down at her sisters like, please. But her sisters followed suit with Lynn. So that, I don't know how that's going to play out, but I thought that was very interesting, the way they had that. That was just, it was awesome for them to play it out that way.
Mm-hmm.
And, ooh, this show is, man.
Yeah.
This show is getting good. No, you know what? This show has been good, and then it started being like aimless for a while. But it's very clear they know that the show is ending, and they are bringing this thing in for a perfect Simone Biles landing. All right.
Well, you know how I am about people saying that a show is aimless. I'm like, let them cook. All right. I'm still, you know what? Y'all can at me at the comments all you want. I enjoyed season 2 of The Walking Dead because that was our character study. Without season 2, nothing else would have hit as hard because we wouldn't have known the characters as well. You know?
Yeah, I thought,
like,
I'll
it's
be
aimless.
honest.
There's nothing happening. It's aimless. And I'm like,
I
okay.
didn't think it was aimless. I did think it was maybe 2 or 3 episodes longer than it needed to be.
And I will give the tonal whiplash. And
yeah,
in this one, it was like, where are they going with this? Where are they going? I'm like, they're planting seeds, bro.
Yeah, because
I'm like, you know,
with Walking Dead, the first
but
episode, I was like, yeah, you're gonna have to kill your boy. I was like, and then we spent I don't know what 10, 12 episodes or whatever with him in denial about it. I'm like, bruh, he got to go. He got to go now.
Yeah,
like,
and that 10 or 12 episodes. That 10 or 12 episodes with him in denial was him holding on to the last vestiges of his humanity. Because remember, after he killed his boy, he was a different person. That was when he came up with them rules, you know?
Yeah.
And
Rick was a new man.
And we had to see that transformation, and that's what that was for. In Evil, we had to see all these little things that Leland was doing to get to Lexus.
Yeah.
To undermine Sheryl.
Yeah, when I rewatched season 2, I was like, I get it. And then I was like, and Kristen is still being stupid about him not, like, you know, I'm like, look, I'm gonna keep it real. If you were around my son like that, it's not gonna be, look.
Oh, I may have to lose your number. No, you know I'm kidding.
Look, ain't gonna be no season 3 for you. All right, we ain't playing. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna let you know. I've done this the legal way. I have a restraining order. I've done this the legal way. Now play around and we can do this the illegal way. All right?
Yeah.
Letting you know, this is it. This is your one. Stay away from my son. That's it. Look.
And you know what?
Look.
You know who you sound like right now?
Who?
You sound like Sheryl.
Look,
notice it only took one time.
Hey, I went through the proper channels. I'm gonna give you grace. I gave you a regular piece of paper from the judge. The judge said don't come around. But if you get sneaky with it, all right, look, I can't help you. I can't help you after that. It's above me. No.
But it's above me. You're gonna have to go.
Like, I'm sorry, it's above me. I'm sorry.
You know,
Oh man. So this episode with Sheryl, the way she stalked down, Leland, that coming to a head, Kristen, and maybe not believing in what's going on, but definitely not tripping with the whole Leland thing. She was just like, okay, cool. He's controlling your body. All right. Like she did not try to make up no kind of special scientific words. She just went with it. Neither did Ben. Ben did not. Boggs wasn't tripping, but Boggs did try to make up something up, but Cheryl was like, nah, it's just a demon, man. Like a demon, like just regular old demon. So everybody seems to be finally on board that if they don't believe in God, demons, this and they at least know this ain't natural. Kind of like I said, like Winston in Ghostbusters. He's like, look, I don't know too much, but I've seen some stuff. Like he's like, look, just listen to these guys. I've seen some stuff. It's like I can't articulate it. I don't know where these ghosts are coming from, but I know what I've seen. All right, they floating around and stuff, and they sliming people, and it's real. Just like I've had supernatural experiences. That's why when that witch episode came out, I said, look, I've dealt with 2 witches before. It's real. Don't play with that mess. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. It's real. And just stay away. And a couple of kids that I knew that got hurt behind some other Ouija board stuff and cutting their hands and setting fires and burning candles. Leave that stuff alone. Leave it alone. I don't know. Leave it to the professionals or something, but don't play. That stuff is not to be played with. I know you see it in the toy section. They ain't a toy. Try to help y'all out. It ain't no toy. But this show is awesome, man. I'll throw it over to you. Final thoughts, and where can we find you?
Final thoughts. This is me going, I told you she wasn't going to live through this show. I told you she had to die. And
yeah, you did.
And quite honestly, my real final thought on this episode was, man. Milton Berle says always leave them wanting more. Okay. Means make your finale so much so that they gonna buy a ticket to the next show. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting up here going, y'all can't do this to me. Now we got 4 episodes left, but they're not starting next week. What is up with this?
Man.
Because this episode was one of the best episodes of modern television. I will straight up put it out right there. This was an amazing episode of this show. Mm-hmm. And in all honesty, there needs to be more. Because, what we gonna do with this? What we gonna do after this show? Again, this team had better get another supernatural horror under their belt. Because
they know what they're doing.
I'm like, don't leave me like this, y'all. Y'all don't leave me like this. No, not like I know a good amount of relationships have to come to an end. I know that. But not like this. Not like this.
Oh boy. This is way too good. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. But y'all can find me over at twitch.tv/BID_P. Check out our stuff. We're talking about games and all that other stuff. And you know what? If for nothing else, tune in for little things that I drop every once in a while. I say a few things that even stick with me from once in a while. Last week it was diamonds grow under pressure, but bread needs rest to rise. And
true that.
Yeah, and a lot of folks like to push people, especially kids, to make diamonds, but you can't eat diamonds. Some kids are like bread. They will be nourishing and everything that you need, but you gotta let them rest and recover. Can't keep needing them, or else you end up with a whole bunch of dough that you can't use. you know. So yeah, you can find me in discussions like that at twitch.tv/BID_P. You can also find them over on my Patreon at patreon.com/BID_P. And come on in, come on in, have a talk with us. Let's talk about games and life and, learn how to paint and all that other stuff.
All right. Well, final thoughts. Robert and Michelle King, y'all are on a hot streak right now. You got 4 episodes in, and I have all faith that y'all are gonna land this thing in a crazy way. I'm excited. I'm so excited about this show. You guys have been on a tear for like the last maybe 5 episodes or so. You guys have really been bringing it. So thank you. I know. Robert and Michelle King, they watch the show. They know. They watch the show. They don't be saying it. But, you look at them views. It don't be like a lot of views, but 2 of the views be Robert and Michelle King. Well, maybe 1 because they be watching it together. But still. NERD, SOUL, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. Until the next time that you have to stand your ground firm in front of the enemy that is trying to lie to you about you, just know that the truth and the light is not in that person. That's right. But until next time, peace.